You're here to find out what special message, wisdom and guidance Spirit has for you for the week coming up. And that's from the 12th of November to the 18th of November 2020. I'm Kylie Savage Psychic, and this is your Pick a Pile weekly oracle card reading. If you're new here, then welcome. And if you've been watching along for a while, then welcome back. It's been terrific to see this channel grow, and recently we've had lots of new people start to follow this channel and start to give me feedback and comments, and they've been asking me for the unlisted videos I have on my channel, which you can too if you love to meditate and you'd like some extra tools and support to get through this last part of the year and set you up for next year. Get in touch with me. Send an email to info@kyliesavage.com. That's KYLIESAVIDGE.com. So yeah, thank you. And I really love reading the comments, and I always respond. And if you're really loving these readings and the value that I provide for you here on the channel, please don't keep me a secret. Share me with your friends. I don't mind at all. I would love for these videos to get out to as many people that they're really going to be of practical assistance and support to as they can. Okay, the astrology for December. It's huge. I don't know if you've been watching Jupiter and Saturn. I have. I've been watching them in the western sky of an evening. You can see a bright star, and then you can see another smaller star next to it, and they are getting closer and closer. It's so exciting because they're coming up to the Great Conjunction. I don't know if you're like me and you're really into fantasy things and ghosts and mysteries and, all that sort of stuff when you were a kid. I love Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal. And my favourite character was Aughra. Of course, she must have been an Aries. She was a little sheep-like character with horns. And she had a fake eye, which was kind of gross, she could take out. But Aughra was on and on about the Great Conjunction. We are going to experience the Great Conjunction here in the Southern Hemisphere around the summer solstice. Isn't that exciting? In the Northern Hemisphere, they'll be having the winter solstice. So in the summer, it's the longest day of the year. In the Northern Hemisphere, in winter, it's the shortest day of the year. So we're going to celebrate the disappearing of the light. And in the north, they're going to celebrate the return of the light. If you're a pagan, if you're a witch, if you're into all this stuff, you'll find heaps on it. Look up winter and summer solstices. So, on the 21st of December, here in the Southern Hemisphere, Jupiter and Saturn are going to line up. And I was out in the backyard and I was like, oh my God, we're actually going to see them come together and probably be like one star. They will be in complete alignment. And that not only is going to herald, Jupiter and Saturn being in conjunction, but they're going to come together in Aquarius. And I've been Googling around, I'm not a fully qualified practicing astrologer. I'm just a very keen enthusiast. They're going to come together in Aquarius, and apparently that's the first time they've done that in 600 years. So when Jupiter and Saturn come together in the Great Conjunction, it will be the heralding of a new dawn, the age of Aquarius, the age of thought. So I am so excited. This is a very exciting time to be living in. And yes, 2020 has been tumultuous. We know the numerology. It's a foundation year, a 4-year. We will be going into a 5-year, which is all about freedom and discipline, movement, all about reconciling our wills and desires and our dreams with the greater goods. So really exciting times. And the age of Aquarius. The planet has moved out of the darkest parts of the galaxy, and we are moving into the light. Awesome. I'm sure if you get on Google and you tap away, Great Conjunction, 21st of December, Saturn and Jupiter coming together, you are going to find loads of information. And one of your best information sources will be Yasmin Boland. And if you haven't got your 2021 Moonology Diary, then I suggest you go and get it before stocks run out because it's a very popular diary. Pardon me. Okay, so on the 15th for our Southerners, which is Tuesday, I need to wish you many happy new moon blessings. And if you're going to start moon manifesting, this would be a great time to do it. It's the last eclipse. It's the last new moon of 2020. Eclipses magnify things like a bit of a clear quartz in astrology. They magnify and amplify the energies. They make it easier for you to manifest. So yeah, London 14th of December, Sydney 15th of December, LA 14th of December, New York 14th of December. So much is happening this week. We have a new moon, an eclipse, Saturn moving from Capricorn into Aquarius, Jupiter moving into Aquarius, and a rare, once every 12 years, Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. But the fact that they're doing it in Aquarius, that's the 600-year part. When energies stack up this way, all we can do is be aware and live consciously. The new moon eclipse makes this a super powerful week, so be sure to invest some real energy into your new moon wishes and intentions. However, the moon goes void of course after the new moon. It did this last month, so wait at least 12 hours to make your wish list. Thank you, Yasmin. She's always got us covered. If you're interested in Yasmin's work, she posts a lot of her stuff on her YouTube channel, so go and find Yasmin Boland on YouTube and subscribe. With the two outer planets, well, we may as well call them Jupiter. There you go. I've Jupitered them. Jupiter and Saturn changing signs. It's a turnaround week for everyone, no matter their star sign or rising sign. So stay awake. I tell you what, this week has been like a month. It's going to be difficult. If you like to work with archangels, the archangel to work with right now is Archangel Raguel. He's associated with the sign of Sagittarius. He's known for bringing harmony and balance. So I will definitely be doing some of, writing up about him in my Moonology diary, Moon Manifesting diary. So call on him if you're having trouble seeing the funny side of a situation, or if you'd like to take life in a more adventurous direction, or you need help to resolve a relationship conflict. Sagittarius is about being focused. They have that arrow. Any questions about astrology? If I don't know, I know someone who knows. So get in touch with me. Put it in the comments. I love to talk about astrology. And if you remember in Conversations with Kylie, we had the lovely Danielle Teal. You can get in touch with her, Lady D's Psychic Parties, and look up the Conversations with Kylie and listen to her talk about astrology. Okay, it's that part of the reading, the video, where I need for you to just breathe. I need to breathe too. Hands on heart. Breathe in through your nose. Nice deep breath through your mouth. Exhale. Don't fall asleep on me. I know it's tough out there. Okay, just arriving in this moment. Breathing in. I think we need to do 3 breaths, honestly. I don't know what you're feeling. How this week's been for you. It's been crazy busy here. And out. And I need for you to choose a number between 1 and 3. So choose either number 1, number 2, or number 3. And do that now. Got your number? Now that will be the number of the pile from which I will draw 2 cards for you, and that message will be a little bit more relevant and pertinent for you and for whatever is going on exactly in your life right now. Yet, it's still a 6-card reading. We move from the anchor card all the way to the possible future outcome cards. So card number 1 to card number 6, still listen to the whole reading. And I don't know if you're like me, but I like to go back several times, like during the middle of the week and then just before I do this video, pardon me, and I listen to the reading again, just to see, did it make sense? Am I tapping into an ongoing theme? Remember, I'm doing these readings for a week, but sometimes the themes last longer. did I gain a bit more understanding about what the message was, or did I think it was one thing and then events actually played out in a different way and I'm like, aha, that's what that means? Because sometimes cards, the meanings change when you put them together when we're doing the 2-card readings. You'll notice that when I put the swan, it was next to something. The swan means that the card that comes beforehand, the message of that is that thing, situation, relationship, person will transform and change. So just be mindful of that. If you ever have any questions, let me know. And I will let you know about some freebies with me. So yeah, the unlisted videos I was talking about. I've done a beautiful creative visualization, and it's called Let Your Troubles Dissolve Like Jelly. I've been listening to that one a lot. I've also uploaded the Sacred Space meditation, which, I think give yourself half an hour to do that one. It's very easy. It takes you to your sacred space. And what that's meant to do is once you've gone through that visualization enough and you've locked and loaded your sacred space, you can go there anytime you need to. You don't need to sit and meditate. You just quickly send your consciousness up to that part and just breathe in the peace and that feeling of safety and security that you are in your sanctuary. You are in your sacred space and your energy is safe and you're okay and you're well. You can do that at any time. So for if you're driving, operating heavy machinery and looking after small children maybe. Maybe wait till they have a nap. Okay, so shuffling again. The question I've been asking is, what do we need to know about this week, especially about what to release? Because December for me in Kylie's Oracle Circle and on my page had the theme releasing and reflecting. Because this is the time of the year when we do that. What a year to reflect on. And why it's releasing and reflecting is because I have been thinking, and I'm sure you probably are too, what was it we experienced this year that we'd like to release and we'd like to let it stay here in 2020 and we do not want to bring it through until 2021? We will do our best to let this go. I was thinking things like, extreme anxiety, panic, not being able to cope with uncertainty, rigidity, closed-mindedness, divisiveness, being hypercritical, being super judgmental, and just resisting change. I would like to release that there, and I would like to reflect on being more open next year, more open to being okay with uncertainty, being okay when things seem chaotic and volatile. So if you would like some help with that, I'm actually putting together a pro forma, and I may, if I have time, make it all special and nice and pretty in Canva. And if you would like my releasing and reflecting ritual to do some journaling with oracle cards, send me an email, info@kyliesavage.com. I'll put it in the comments as well. I better rock and roll. 30 minutes in, I haven't even read for you yet. Dear, I swear, after this, it's the second season of Virgin River. I have one more episode, and it's couch time. Okay, remember, I've been intentional about this. I decided I would split the pile into 3. I know that I'm selecting the top and the bottom cards. Okay, so if you chose pile number 1, your cards are, and I said last week it was my favourite pick-a-pile reading so far. And I say that all the time. Looks like a ripper this time. Okay, the stag. Block your ears if there's any men watching. So the stags, pride and leadership. Okay, now I'm looking at what we need to release. So what we most need to know and what we're looking at releasing now. So perhaps if you chose pile number 1, we're looking at releasing our stubborn pride. Because pride's important. We need to have pride. We need to take pride in things like taking pride in our work, taking pride in our appearance, taking pride in our relationships, the things that we are making efforts about. The stag, when it comes up, I always have to give a little caveat, especially if my client is a lady and she's married or partnered. The stag is often a very resistant, domineering, bossy male, often the husband or the boss. Perhaps you have a bossy boss you would like to release and let go of this year, and get a new job in 2021, or a new boss. Perhaps you'd like to be your own boss in 2021. If so, get in touch with me, because I am practicing, refining my niche and working very much with women in business, especially in 2021. So, pride and leadership. The other thing is, we learnt, on the whole, so much about leadership this year, didn't we? We really, really looked to our leaders in government, in industry, in health, in teaching and education, in our communities. 2020 was huge about that, the fires and the drought and COVID and everything. So perhaps what we will be releasing, and you in particular will be releasing this year, is outdated ideas about leadership and institutions. And we will be taking into 2021 a more refined, clearer understanding of good leadership and what it is that we really need, without getting too political here. So yes, if you chose poll number 1, know that themes of pride and leadership are relevant to you right now. So I want you to think about those two things and what you would be interested in releasing right now. Okay, and the ally who is going to help you with this is the dragon. So we know that the dragon alchemizes. So they are the power and the strength. They are saying too, in this scenario, look for the gold. Look for the treasure. What was good about a certain model of leadership, or what was good about, the relationship I had with my boss, or being my own boss? What was good about my pride? The pride I had in different projects, things like that. Like, where is the gold? That's something we want to reflect on, we want to retain. So be thinking about that. The other thing is, that's gold itself. Being able to reflect on things and knowing what to release and what to maintain, what to carry through. So the dragon will be helping you with all of that. They've been just so deep. And if you don't know, I'm reading from The Wisdom of Avalon. It was Colette Baron-Reid's first deck, and it remains my favourite. It was my first Oracle card deck, and I have heard that Colette will be making another shamanic sort of deck with Alberto Velodo. I'm not sure if Marcella Lobos will be working on that as well. The three of them did the Mystical Shaman Oracle. So if you're interested in shamanism and Oracle cards, it couldn't be a more perfect deck for you if you wanted to do some Christmas shopping for yourself. And what was I going to say? Don't remember. I'll move on. I knew it was going to be tricky today. I really did. I pulled a card for myself, and the card for myself was from The Wisdom of the Oracle, also by Colette Baron-Reid, was Time for a Nap in Protection. And that's one, that's extreme self-care. Like, go, rest, recuperate, look after yourself, or, experience the consequences. I was like, so what I'm releasing, because that was my question, what to release, what I will be releasing is overgiving, overdoing, being over-committed, overworked, and burning out. I do not need to take those things into next year. Okay, if you chose pile number 2, you got the Lady of the Lake, and she's with the dog, and we know both of these cards, I've written them down, they have turned up recently. The Lady of the Lake, I heard somebody talking about before, that she is holding the sword of truth. So perhaps what you will be releasing this week, and the end of this year, not taking with you into 2021, what you'll be releasing will be dishonesty. So dishonesty within yourself, with others. Perhaps the sword of truth will be also cutting away and allowing you to see honestly what it is that you really do need to release now, and what you would like to take on, take through into 2021. So Lady of the Lake, she's your ally. She's opening up your eyes, helping you see the truth to cut away the BS, and she is also supporting you to live your truth. So I love that for you if you chose pile number 2. It is absolute truth, courage, self-respect, and responsibility. So perhaps the things you're releasing to is really seeing what is your responsibility and what isn't. And can you release the things that aren't your responsibility? Can you let go of control and allow other people to clean up their own messes and do their own work? Big themes. I finished listening to Glennon Doyle's Untamed today. Woohoo! Got through an audiobook. And she was talking very much about that we control because we don't trust. So, and we have that martyr game I was talking about before, the victim martyr game. We think nobody else can do things as well as what we can. So perhaps seeing the truth about that and allowing other people to flourish or fail on their own 2 feet off, from their own efforts. So the dog is really showing you the truth too about what's a good thing to be loyal to and to maintain, and what's a good thing to release. And the themes of the dog is loyalty, unconditional love, kindness, friendship. So perhaps you are looking also at your relationships with the light of truth and saying, what are the best friendships? How am I showing up in those friendships? How are other people being in them? And what's the truth about, these friendships or relationships or even work situations? And what's really working for me has been a good positive influence this year, and what hasn't been? So moving forward could be about letting go of more and more things, decluttering our lives on all the levels, professional, personal, all the rest, and looking at what's really working and what can we continue to invest ourselves in and be loyal to, and what maybe needs to dissolve away. Tough stuff. Like I said, such deep themes coming out. I don't know why. Don't know if it's the astrology. I don't know if it's the end of the year. I'm not sure why we're getting such big messages, and you're going to laugh at this. Ooh, okay, interesting. I keep saying the word interesting. I'm not sure why I'm tapping into this energy that's so deep at the moment, and the themes are so big. I mean, I don't do fluff anyway. My readings don't tend to be fluffy. I'm all about, let's give you some practical wisdom and support. Let's give you some tools and tips and strategies, some steps to take, to take the next right actions in your life so that you can transform and change your life. Baby steps, yet change. That's what I really get excited about. I love hearing, when my clients have come and had a reading, and some people are working through some really challenging things, and then I hear about how they took the message on and how it played out in their life and how they were willing to see things in a different light and to take some different actions and to be responsible for the consequences and move forward from there. When they come back to me and say, look, you're right about that, Kyle. So that did happen, and this is what I did about it, and this is how I feel about it now, and I can see why things were the way they were, and I've learnt that lesson. I've adopted that wisdom, and it's transformed my life in a certain way. Those are really powerful moments in people's lives, and powerful changes. And I love being a part of that. It's part of why I've been doing this for 20 years, but I've been in business for nearly 10, and it's part of the reason why I'm still doing it. Because Spirit do shine the light of truth on people's lives. And then, through the filter of me, because I really believe in being very compassionate and very real with people and showing them a lot of understanding and being very kind. I can be straight and I can be honest with people, but to deliver that message in a very kind and loving way. Because we all can get afraid of change. We can all become afraid of making changes in our lives. We can all become afraid of the unknown and, be filled with that dread of uncertainty. And if you ever do that, email me too, because I have an amazing meditation that I can send you the link to. And it's called Prescription for Courage. And it's by Dr. Lisa Rankin. And it's called A Meditation for Uncertainty. And it's certainly helped me so many times. Okay, pick a pile. So number 3. Now, I don't know if you watched last week, so if you want to pause this and go back. Love was the anchor card last week, and look at this. It's shown up in our future possible outcomes for pile number 3. So love is the focus for you guys for number 3. Love is the focus, and the second card is partnership. So we really are looking at, and last week it was a little bit, I'm pretty sure it was last week I talked about, it was a little bit confronting, because it was talking about your relationships, your romantic relationships possibly being transformed, and possibly looking at your romantic relationships, your closest ones, and all your closest platonic relationships like family and all the rest, and saying perhaps this relationship as it is needs to evolve and transform and perhaps be released. So whether or not that actually meant a separation, I don't know, and I don't like to predict things like that. But what it means is, in its current form, you could perhaps work on releasing that so that it could evolve and transform. Whether that evolves to you end up being separated, whether it evolves and you end up coming closer together, I'm not sure. You will have to, if this relates to you, let me know in the comments or get in touch with me, send me an email, and have a chat with me about it. Because I don't know how these cards are going to unfold for each and every person who watches this video over the whole period it's up for. I can only give you the message that I get today. So, and these are general readings. It's not for a specific person. It's for everyone who gets to see these videos. So perhaps your love relationships are undergoing a transformation, and perhaps that's a good thing. And perhaps you are releasing the way that you think about these relationships. You're releasing the way you're allowing them to show up and operate. Perhaps you are just open to allowing these relationships to either, flourish or flounder on their own. And why Spirit want you to focus on love and relationships and partnerships is we really need to have strong, healthy, vibrant relationships, because these are the things that energize us. And, our homes, now our loving relationships, and our family, these are the things that become our sanctuary, because life has been so challenging lately. And I think at this time too, we're thinking about the people that we love more than ever. Can we come together at Christmas? Will we be having Zoom tasks? How can we express our love, whether it's through gifts or through communication and connection, coming together to celebrate, to have a meal together. And, whether even during those conversations, you will be talking about what you're going to release from this year and what you're reflecting on. But partnerships are really important. And if the love piece doesn't relate to you, think about business partnerships. Think about your co-workers, your biz wives. Think about your communities, your social media groups, those sorts of things. Think about how you can inject them with some love and receive the love from them as well. So love and partnerships, very important if you chose pile number 3. And I would love some feedback as to how they're important. But what I'm hearing is, if this year has really stripped away all the unnecessary stuff, and it's really made you think about what matters most to you, and you're no longer apologizing for that and the decisions you're making going forward, because perhaps your marriage, your partnership, your romantic relationships, your family are most important. And during these times of separation from the people that we love most, and our neighbours, our friends, things like that, and going through great loss and suffering and tragedy, we really have had to think about what's important and what's not. And going forward, will we live out our new values and beliefs, or will we forget them? So much stuff, very, very deep. And, partnerships, it really is about community. And I think we're seeing that more. That it's so funny, it's so ironic. Like, we've sort of sent into, lockdown and isolation to be alone. And I really feel like it was a time to sort out what's important for us before we can reconnect. Yet we've seen from not being able to be together how important community and connection and partnerships are. Oh dear. If you've enjoyed this reading, if you've had a takeaway, something that's really resonated with you, please put it in the comments and please get in touch with me and let me know. Join me on my Facebook page, Kylie Savage Psychic. There's only a few more weekly oracle card readings to the end of the year, and then I will definitely be taking a break through January and coming back probably with these in February. You can still book a reading with me, a paid reading with me. I have the Oracle 5-card forecast, especially great for women in business. If you need to make some decisions about your business that are giving you a little bit of anxiety, feeling a little bit overwhelmed about that, let me move you into clarity and calm and focus with that 5-card Oracle forecast. Or if you just like to know in general what 2021 has in store for you, get in touch with me and let me know. I've got just a few places left for that. And bookings will wind up by the 16th of December. Okay. See you next week. Take really good care of yourselves out there.